Good afternoon, and welcome to today's episode of Legally Marette, Legally Raven here. And today we're going to do a new video in our series, Questions Lay People Ask. So this one is about building an ADU or an accessory dwelling unit. So you want to build an ADU. So many people are talking about building ADUs on their property. There really is an affordable house crisis going on. Many people are looking to supplement income, provide housing for family, and many renters are looking for a more affordable place to live. And so that's where this comes in. So once again, what is an ADU? Is referred to a mother-in-law unit, a granny shack, a backyard cottage. They're small independent residential units located on the same lot as a standalone single-family home. Can provide the same essential functions as a typical single family residence, complete with a kitchen. So this is not always the case depending on your jurisdiction. So we are looking for Las Vegas, which is Clark County, Nevada, for this particular exercise. So let's see what's required. So one of the things that you think about is, do I have to do all that? Yeah, you do. So I wish I had did a YouTube video a while back, because actually when we lived in Texas, I put a tiny house in our backyard. It was a fun project to work on. It took me probably about a year to kind of wrap my mind around how I was going to do it and figure it out and do general contracting for the whole thing, but we got it done. And yeah, it's still there and it's providing rental income for us. And so I bought it and had it moved in because of where it was located. This particular property that we're doing this for, we can't do that, probably because of the size of the lot. Trying to fit something pre-made and already constructed into the yard would be difficult, right? So a full set of construction drawings are necessary to obtain a permit to construct all types of ADUs if we want it to be legal. So that even is an existing structure that's converted into an ADU. Let's fix this. While property owners may prepare the plans, they may not have the knowledge of current construction methods and code regulations. So projects constructed using professionally prepared plans help to ensure that ADU and its construction methods meet all the code requirements. Any of the following design professionals can assist the preparation of construction plans for an ADU. So that might be an architect or a civil engineer. Some general contractors can do that for you too. So those are the kind of people that are, or general contractor might have somebody that they use. Those are the kind of people that can prepare plans for you. In addition to that, many cities are coming out with these programs that are called, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but it is, I'm sorry. No, this isn't it. Many cities are coming out with plans where they actually have approved plans already. So the cities have gone out and done an RFP. And let me just do a little Google search here so you can see what I'm talking about. ADU permit ready ADU programs, permit ready. So cities are actually helping by doing it, by actually saying, hey, so the city of Renton, Washington has this program. In Sanitas, California has this program. I think San Diego County has this program. Citrus Heights has this program in California. So many of these programs are there. And then California also has the Cal HFA grant, which gives you up to $40,000 for pre-development and costs associated to build an ADU. So I love these programs, these permit-ready ADUs, because they've taken a lot of the pre-development work out of it, saving you thousands of dollars and saving you time, because you know that what you submit is going to be approved. So it's going to be fast tracked, right? Because of the fact that you're using plans that the city actually already approved. So this is a different city. This is in Las Vegas, Nevada, but I really like this checklist that they talk about all the different type of ADUs that they have here. You can be attached, detached, conversion, maybe like a garage or something like that. And then they're a junior ADU, which is entirely within the single family residence. That's another type. They talk about the different types of construction. Oh, a designer. I'm sorry, that was the other type of person who could help you with this. So one of the things I like about this is this checklist with these permit ready ADUs and so these are some of the ones that they have the options here in Citrus Heights, but it actually gives you This is really good. Most cities are going to be kind of similar, and they are going to be able to help you with that. So they have a nice checklist here in Citrus Heights. Let's just see if we can find it. Thought it was in here. Okay, maybe not. They had a checklist of the things that they do and then the things that actually you're responsible for. I'm sorry, I think it's in a different one. But anyway, here's the point. Here is the point there. And I just want to just kind of remember that this link is here about how do you prepare a site plan. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to create a site plan. When I happen to have a survey of my property in Texas, which made it a lot easier for me to be able to make a site plan. I actually did it myself, and that was good enough. If you don't have a survey, it can be a little bit more difficult. Okay, so it has to be the site plan has to be drawn to scale, show property lines, sidewalks, driveways, location of the ADU, distance from structure to property lines, distance between structure on site, approximate location of existing and utilities, location of electrical service, location of all easements. Easements will be the right for somebody to come on your property for something. So, like the utility company has an easement on your property. Identify the species and drip line of any trees located on the property or drip line of any trees adjacent parcel overhang onto the property. So that might be something for Citrus Heights, may not be something elsewhere. Here too, we have this, how to prepare a site plan if you want to improve your property. And this is telling you how to do it. So you can use tax assessor map, you can use subdivision plat information, you can use building records, or you can hire a licensed survey to do it for you. So this is how you can DIY it, right? So you can prepare the site plan by using all the information you've gathered. You can draw the site plan by hand or use a computer graphics or drafting program. The site plan must be drawn to scale. So a great site is Fiverr or Upwork to find somebody who can do this at a lower rate if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself. But a site plan is going to be very, 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 very important. And the reason for that you will find out in a minute as we move on to the next step. So now we're going to go right into Clark County here. And we are going to, so this is the permit page for Clark County, but what we are looking for, and I'm sorry, where is it? Here we go. We are looking for this. So this is from Clark County. It's telling us single family residence and guest house building permit guide. Okay, so this guide is what is going to help us to know what we need to do in order to add an accessory dwelling unit, a little apartment to our property, right? So this is general information, right? So we need to make sure that all the submittals are complete. Pencil or write on documents is not acceptable. So just know that from the beginning, it's the review process. So this is giving you an overview of what has to happen. So plan reviews will be conducted by the following departments, divisions to ensure compliance with applicable requirements. So current planning, zoning plans, check review plans for compliance with the adopted Clark County Zoning Codes Title 30 and applicable Nevada revised statutes. Plan review includes but not limited to the land use, how is the land being used, the legality of the lots or the lots you have, the setbacks, the heights, the parking, the landscaping, the walls and fences, the lot coverage, the recorded easement. Okay, so Public Works Department review, they're going to make sure you're not building into any right of way, maybe for Department of Transportation or something like that. Drainage improvement compliance, offsite improvement compliance, and traffic studies, right? So they're going to be looking for that. And then building plan examination reviews the building plans to be in compliance with the building codes. So they are there trying to make sure everything that you're building is safe. The house that I moved in, there were some building code violations. For instance, the house had all small windows across the front, and because it was a tiny house, 484 square feet. Well, the building code said that one of those small windows had to be taken out and a larger window had to be put in case of an emergency. A person had to be able to have one window that they could fit through. So that was one thing that I had to do. All right. So then you have to make sure that you're going to meet the residential code, the electrical code, the plumbing code, and then the energy conservation code, right? So do your windows have the right values and then the SEER values on any of your plumbing or mechanical equipment. I'm assuming that means like your hot water tank, for instance, right? And then you have plan preparation. So plans for single family residences submitted to Clark County Department of Building must be prepared by one of the following. So you need a contractor that's licensed to do it. That's why I was thinking contractor. You need to be done by a registered professional engineer, or owner builders may prepare and submit plans for their private residential use as allowed under NRS 624-031, contractors exemptions listed above. So in order to utilize this exemption, the applicant will be required to title the plans without reference to being prepared by a party other than the property owner who is building or overseeing the building activity. So if you get some help with your plans, you have to make sure that the plans are titled like you did it yourself. So let's just look and see if we can see what this says. Um, this is from the Nevada legislature. And let's see if we can look for 031. Was it 031? Exemptions. Okay, so an owner of a property who is building or improving a residential structure on the property for his or her own occupancy and not intended for sale or lease. The seller, lease, or offering for sale or lease of the newly built structure within 1 year of its completion creates a rebuttable presumption for the purposes of this section. So, as long as you don't plan to sell or lease it within a year, you are allowed to make the plans yourself, which is great because you can find somebody who can draft it for you, or you can alter some plans, and it's going to save you a lot of money on the cost. The city in Nevada, specifically the building department, is super helpful. Government people working government often consider themselves to be public servants, and that's their job, to help you to make sure that you build something that is within compliance, all right, to what they're doing. So now you have the application. So you have to do a completed building permit application. That's going to have your parcel number must be included. That completed sub permit applications are required for the following. So you're going to have whoever's going to do your electrical, your plumbing, and your mechanical. They're also going to have that under your building permit application. And then additional permit applications are required for the following: if you're going to do a pool or spa, a fence or block wall, or have a temporary trailer there for construction. Okay, so then part 5, you need to have ownership and legal description. So 2 copies that show the ownership and legal description of the property from one of the following documents. You can have your deed of trust, your escrow instructions, and then here is the plan content and supporting documents. So all plans must be the same size. They can't be bigger than 30 inches by 42 inches. They have to be legible, good imaging quality, and drawn to scale in ink or reproduction, right? You also need to have a grading plan. So a grading plan can be prepared by a Nevada registered professional civil engineer, or you can do one of the following. A site-specific grading plan by an engineer, or a parcel map grading plan if available from civil engineering map firm, 3 copies, or a recorded subdivision grading plan if available from civil engineering map firm. So we need to call the civil engineering map room and see if these things are going to be available. So then that's more money that we're going to be able to save here. So now we need the building site plan. So this is what we were talking about before, the building site plan. We're going to see if we can make that ourselves and draw that to scale, but that's going to show where our existing structure is, all the lot dimensions, and where the proposed structure is. And that's going to show that we have enough space to do it. So one of the things I had not considered were any easements, because generally easements do have a setback too. So if you have a utility easement, you can't build on top of it, right? You have to be so far away from it. So that is something we need to consider too. Then you need to have a geotechnical soils report. It's required for all projects that require new foundations and are required for all additions of 600 feet or greater. So we are doing something less than 600 square feet, but it is going to have a foundation. So it seems like we might have to have a soils report. I'm not sure how much those cost. And then structural plans and calculations, they must be prepared by a Nevada registered professional civil engineer or structural engineer. All plans and calculation must bear the engineer's original stamp and signature. So you have to make sure that everything's structurally sound. And then structural foundation plans, that's going to be 3 sets of those that are going to show how it is going to be, how the house is going to be on the foundation. I found that the foundation contractor actually provided this for me as part of doing the foundation when I just had my tiny house converted to a permanent structure back in Texas. So that's something that probably will be done by the foundation contractor. And so then you have the structural for framing plans and details, 3 sets of those. The structural roof framing plan details, 3 sets of those. And then you have the architectural floor plan, 3 sets of those. The elevation floor plan, 3 sets of those. The cross section plans, 3 sets of those. Energy code compliance report, 2 sets of those. Electrical plans, 3 sets. Gas piping plans, if you're going to have gas, 3 sets of those. Vented factory built fireplace, 2 sets of those if applicable. Fire sprinkler plans as required. We won't need fire sprinklers in such a small unit. All right, and then you're going to submit everything together, all of that stuff, and you're going to pay the required fees. So we see an estimated valuation of the work to be determined based on the square footage of the residence. All right, so that's how much a permit is going to cost. So they are saying, okay, this is about, and then the building plan review fee will be 65% of the building permitting fee. Payment of the building plan review fee will be required at time of submittal, and plans will then be routed to the required departments and division of review. So you put it all together, and then they send it to all those departments. And then agency approvals. Agency approvals are not required at initial submittal. However, they must be completed and presented to the Department of Building prior to permit issuance. So you need to get water verification. That's one thing. Right, to make sure that they say you have water. And then you need to have sanitation verification too, because you have to have sanitation. And then secondary detached structures containing plumbing require their own sanitation verification. So if you have a verification for your house, but this is detached, you're going to need a second one. And that's exactly what we're trying to do here in Las Vegas, right? So then you have air quality, and then a desert conservation plan, land disturbance mitigation fee form. All right. So quality assurance agency requirements. Certain types of work may require special inspection in accordance with the Uniform Building Code. When special inspections are required, the owner must select county approved quality assurance agency to perform those inspections. So it looks like this is when that is going to be necessary. And so we're going to try to make sure that we don't need a QAA inspection. Right. Okay, so processing and permit time. Normal processing time to obtain a permit to construct a single family residence or guest house is approximately 21 calendar days, not including any needed land use approval, current planning, or civil engineering requirements. If there are problems with your plans or if there are increased volumes of submittals from the public, processing time could increase. So plan correction and communication. During the review process, items needing correction on the plans will be discovered. Plan correction letters are typically used to advise the applicant that items need to be corrected on the plans. Minor items are usually resolved by telephone, fax, or in person. So respond promptly to get things done. So then when all plan review approvals have been received from the zoning plans examination, public works, and building plan examination, you will be notified that your permit is ready to issue pending receipt of all departmental and agency approvals and payment of the remaining fees, which is the building fees, the permit fees, the building plan review fees, less the payment made at the time of plan submittal, the current planning and zoning plans, check plan review fees, the desert conservation mitigation and administration fee, transportation tax, residential park fee, construction tax, signing of landscape certificate, and signing of quality assurance certificate. So then after you start doing this, then you're going to have inspections to make sure what is being built is actually what you said that you were going to build. All right. And so these are the things that have to be done. So the grading report must be submitted prior to getting inspections. The past certification report must be submitted prior to the foundation inspection. Finished floor elevation certificate, drainage compliance report, FEMA, utilities. All right. So basically, whether you are building a full single family house or you're building a guest house, the process is the same if you want to have it permitted correctly. So Clark County, Las Vegas, unfortunately doesn't have a PRAUD or a permit ready AUD program. So that means you're going to have to do it. So let's get started. First of all, we need to figure out what is the zoning. So in order to do that, we are going to go to, okay, this is what it pulls up, right? But let me see if I can find it. Okay, so we're gonna go by the owner's name here, and that'll be, all right, so let's do that. And here's the parcel number. Here's the address. All right, so what we're trying to do here is figure out what is the zoning on this property. So in order to figure out the zoning, we're looking at the improvements. It was built in 1980, single family residential, 1620 square feet. All right, so we want to, let's look at so we can look at the aerial view here of the property. All right, so it's thinking. Okay. We pulled it up before. So here's the aerial view, right? Here's the property information over on the side. As you can see, it tells us that this is single family residential district R1. So we can click on that and this will take us to the municipal code, right? And that municipal code will help us to see here, we're in the zoning code here, right? So this is the zoning code. So let's actually go to the zoning code and we are going to view that code, and we want to look at residential districts. So this was what was it again? Was it an R1 district? Yes, R1. So we're going to look here at R1 district, and we're going to see what, so that's single family residential. And this here is going to tell us what needs to happen. So the minimum lot size has to be 6,500 square feet and 60 feet. The house was built there. So unless it was built before the code, we know that it's going to follow that. So the maximum lot coverage per lot is 50%, right? So that means that if the lot is, so let's see the size of our lot. Let's go back to our actual lot here. All right. And let's see what it is. So this lot is, do we have the size of the lot here? These are all the owners, elected officials, legal description. Let's look at the legal description. So that is where okay, so, oh, cool. Wow, I didn't know this was here. I'm going to save this. New project. So here we have originally, here's the survey of the entire development that was done there. And we see that zoom in closer. All right. So we need to figure out exactly, oh, it's tomorrow. Okay, here we go. So all the lots are about, um, we need to look up and see which parcel it is. Okay, because of the video, we don't want to make it take too long, but we're seeing that everything is between 6,500 and 6,700 square feet. And really that information, it is here somewhere. I know it is. That's basic property information. Let me see here. And this is the residential appraisal record from 1980 when it was first done. So here we have the layout of the house you see here. Okay. And this is upside down. Sorry about that. All right. So let me just look. We can close this and we can close this. Okay. So let's look here. Let's see if it is here. How big? Okay. The land. Now that's the value of the land and the improvements. Okay, so the estimated size is telling us is 0.17 acres. It's not telling us. So we know that there are 43,560 acres in square acres and square foot. So if we say, all right, so the lot is about 7,400 square feet. So that's how big the lot is. So if we go back here and it tells us, sorry, here we go, that no more maximum lot coverage is 50%. That means we take that 7,405 and we divide it by 2, or we multiply by 50%. So we can only use 3,680 square feet can be used in this lot. Now, the house is only 1,620, which means that we have 2,060 left. We have plenty of space. But then you have minimum setback. So the existing house has to be 20 feet setback from the street. Side yard, you have to have 5 feet on each side. Minimum corner side yard setback 15 feet and rear yard setback 15 feet, right? So accessory dwelling, they have to be 6 feet away from the main house. They have to be 3 feet from the rear yard setback. They have to be 3 feet from the side yard and not to exceed 50% of the floor area of the principal dwelling unit, right? So if the principal dwelling unit is 1620, that means we can't build something bigger than 810 square feet. So that's how that goes, right? So this is the accessory dwelling unit. So it has to be 6 feet from the main building. It has to be 3 feet from the side yard. It has to be 3 feet from the rear yard. Okay, so the aggregate total of ground floor area of all accessory buildings shall not cover more than 50% of the rear yard area. The aggregate total of the ground floor area means all the structures and dwellings, including accessory structures, shall not exceed the percentage of the lot coverage permitted. So I do believe that the garage, because it's attached, doesn't count. It's considered part of the house. But that means if you have a shed, this place also has a tiki bar. Those things have to be included in not being more than 50%, right? So we have 810 square feet of extra stuff that we can have, and that is the maximum that we can do. And in addition to that, these are the setbacks that are going to be required for the structure. All right, so that is what's going to be required by the code. Now, I just want to take a look here before we end up. So this here I showed you before, this is actually an outline drawing of the house. All right, so what needs to be done, and we see it has north on it, is in addition to the grading plan, we have to take this here. And we need to look back at this map here. Okay. And we need to find out which lot is ours, and we need to place the house on this lot, right? And it needs to be to scale. And then we need to calculate all the setbacks and that sort of thing. And we need to use that to figure out what where how big we can make it and where exactly we can place it. So the other thing that I forgot, the issue here is there is a swimming pool. There is a swimming pool in the property, as you could see here. There is a swimming pool. And so there are setbacks required for swimming pools. Let me just put this in here and see if anything comes up. I'm just not sure. Let's go back to, let's just do Las Vegas, Clark County swimming pool setback. I don't know if we'll find anything. So yeah, in this case, that plan is going to need to have that plan will need to have that site plan will need to have the existing house, the shed, the tiki bar, the pool. Everything has to be laid out on that plan so that you can see how much space you have left. And that really is going to be the very first step. So let's just look at site plan here. All right. That's really going to be the first step, is getting this site plan done to understand where everything is located. Now, I just want to take a look at these. These are, I really love these. This is from the city of Encinitas, I think you pronounce it, in California. These are permit ready drawings. And so what we're going to try to do is have these drawings altered slightly to be the drawings for our space, right? So we see that this is, I believe, it's about 300, and let me just look at the plan here. What's the here, but it's about what we can fit in our property. I would like it turned the other way, but we may not be able to do that, right? So this is a full set of permit drawings. So this is just to give you an idea of what is needed in order to get something approved. Okay, this is 350 square feet. And so this is what we're looking at, building something like this. All right, so here we go. This is the document that really is going to tell us everything that we need along with the zoning. But the first thing that we really need to do is to get the site plan done. We need to get the site plan done so we understand exactly how much we can build. So I'm going to go ahead and just pause for a second